Okay, this is going to be a short video on the second pistol that I ever purchased, and I purchased this back in June of 2006. That is almost 8 years after I purchased my Colt Model 2000 All-American. Now at that time, which was right around which was about 2 years after the assault weapon ban, and my interest in purchasing more firearms was starting to increase again. And the realization was that the All-American, the Colt All-American, the Model 2000, wasn't going to cut it. It had reliability issues. It was inaccurate. And if something is not reliable, inaccurate, it is not a successful pistol. It is definitely something that is not good for self-defense or home defense or whatever purpose you wish to use it for. So then I set out to find a replacement for that. I wasn't going to sell it, but I just needed something else to use. And I was pretty much, I wouldn't say violently opposed to getting a Glock, but a Glock was definitely something that was not on the table. I think in my Glock 20 review or discussion, I explained why I had this bias against Glock at that time, which, as I stated then, was pretty much unfounded. It was, but it was what it was. That was the past. And I've eventually gotten over that. Took a while, but so without further ado, let's pop this open so that we can see what replaced my All-American. That's not it. That's just the accessories that came along with it. So there's going to be further ado. You have the holster that came with that, made in Israel. Came with a, what does that say, XD gear. It had a magazine loader. XD gear. And it had a carrier for 2 other magazines. With all that XD written on there, I wonder what this could be, other than an XD. And this is, let's check it to make sure that there is nothing in there. Let's pop the magazine. Nice stainless steel magazines, all nice and shiny, with a 16 round capacity, 1 in the chamber. And here is my Springfield Armory XD. This is the 9mm version. And as I said, I purchased this in 2006. And I am not a XD expert or historian, so I'm not sure exactly how this stacks up in terms of the production run, where exactly in the production run this is. I'm not sure exactly when they developed this. I think this was actually a Czech firearm, don't quote me on that, that was licensed out by Springfield. So I guess all the development costs were on the foreign company that actually did this. But it is a very reliable pistol. It has the safety here on the back strap, so if you don't engage that, it will not fire. You have the safety here on the trigger itself, so even if you engage the back and you do not engage the safety on the trigger, very Glock-like safety, by the way. I guess that's the similar to the safe action, if it's not identical to the safe action. Oh. But when you engage that and that, then you can continue the firing of this. As you can see, it has a 3-dot sight. And I haven't looked at this in a long time because this has been superseded by others in the meantime. So I'm just trying to see whether or not that is adjustable. I have never adjusted it, so that's one of the reasons why I couldn't tell you. I see it came with a hex key, and this looks like, nope. Ah, that's what that is. Let's show you again. That is an indicator to show that it is cocked. And it also has a indicator to let you know that there is a round in the chamber, which there isn't right now. So we'll just disengage that again. So a lot of people have issues with all the indicators. I don't really, as long as they're not really obtrusive. You know, this doesn't really get into the sight picture at all, so that's not an issue. And if it keeps you safe, you know, there's really not that big of an issue with it as far as I'm concerned. As I said, as long as it doesn't interfere with the actual operation of it. Now, some people will say that they do not like the back strap safety, because, as I demonstrated before, if you do not have a firm grip on that, if you do not actually depress that, then you cannot squeeze the trigger. And if you cannot squeeze the trigger, your gun will not fire. Unless it's the Colt Model 2000 and you drop it. So, it's a give and take. I guess some of the experts in the field do not like this. I mean, it's been in existence for, I don't know, 100 years or so, because the Colt Model 1911 had something very similar to this. But you can't please everybody. Everybody has their own opinion. Opinions are like buttholes, I guess you can say. Pardon me. But that is a fact. And in reality, you really need to find out whatever suits yourself. So let's just do this one more time here. I'm just at a bad angle. There you go. And so this is just a short overview, all 8 minutes, approaching 9 minutes, of my XD 9mm. And I do believe that in the intervening years since I actually purchased this, quite a different number of models have come out, different calibers, excuse me, and I think even different finishes. I think there's something called melanite or something like that. That might be a coating or something that they do to the modern ones. Like I said, I'm not a historian on these things. All I know is that this pistol has been very efficient for me, very effective. But as I like to experiment with different things, it has found its way into the back of the gun cabinet for now. But I'll probably give it another look-see, see how it stacks up against some of the more modern ones, see how it stacks up against the revolvers that I've purchased in the intervening years, which kind of serve as some of my defense weapons. And I have a couple other 9mm too that I'll showcase one of these days. But as we approach 10 minutes or 9:30, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think about my old XD. As I said, I purchased this back in 2006. So it is definitely, well, 6 years old. So it is not the latest, although I'm not sure if they've made very many modifications to it. As I said, they have actually made more made it more available in more calibers than it was, I believe, at the time that I purchased this. Alright, thanks for watching, and please comment, let me know what you think about this. Alright, bye-bye.